Are your kitchen and bathroom way overdue for a remodel? Well, I got the guy for you. Call John Sellers at First Response Contracting, 484-256-7136. Both residential and commercial services, and he's licensed and insured. Call him at 484-256-7136. First Response Contracting. Hello, this is Brad Weisman. You're listening to Real Estate and You. And I am in the studio here with an amazing guest. And the topic of this show is called RBAR is not for drinks. And I think a lot of people are going to be like, what in the world does that mean? Brittney, what do you think that means?
You know, it could be for drinks some days. You know, I'm just going to put that out there. Some
you
days,
might be right.
This market. No, it's the Reading-Berks Association of Realtors.
That's what RBAR stands for. Right.
Bar, yeah.
And there are times we do drink as realtors and as realtor affiliates and people in charge of real estate and
Sometimes
things like that. Absolutely. So I have you here. You know, what's funny, when I started talking about or thinking about the show, it's the 100th year anniversary of RBAR.
It is.
That's amazing.
Wild, right?
1922, right?
Yep.
Imagine what has happened in that time.
It's really kind of perplexing to think how far the real estate industry has come.
Oh my gosh.
You know, I can't even imagine doing this job, you know, being a realtor. Back then.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is you wonder, what did that look like?
I have no idea.
Like, you know, because I know 30 years ago when I got in the business, we had an MLS book. Okay. We had lock boxes.
Yep.
That was still there, but it was a real estate book. And when somebody wanted to learn or know about houses, we sat down with them and paged through this book.
Oh, yeah.
And it was not very convenient because there was no searching. It was by price. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't like, I want to look for something with 3 bedrooms. No. It was, here's what you get for that price.
Yep.
Whatever. So it's changed a lot. You know what else wasn't around? We now have buyer representation. When I first got in the business 30 years ago, cheers to 30 years, by the way. Yes. Look, that's funny. Tony's back there cheering. But yes, so when I got into business 30 years ago, there was no buyer agency. There was, we were practicing it, but we weren't really being transparent about it. Let's put that. It was sub-agencies. That's weird, really weird. So what do you do for the real estate, the Reading-Berks Association of Realtors?
So I am the association executive for the Reading-Berks Association of Realtors. I came to RBAR in February of 2020.
I remember.
The end of February.
What happened then? What happened like a month later in 2020? Everybody know?
Like, you know, a global pandemic happened. So I don't know if it was related to my move.
Yeah.
But
we were starting to think it was your fault.
Yeah.
Yes,
I was
we were.
too.
We were.
Yeah.
Because I remember the day you came in February. Next thing you know, we're all shutting down. And she's like, oh, great. Now what do I do?
It was literally just, it was insane.
And you know how quiet I was about it. You know, because I didn't say anything about COVID or being shut down. I wasn't vocal at all. No. You weren't vocal. Nobody was vocal. And I have to tell you, one of the things that I'm very proud of from when that happened is we did have an amazing amount of people that were fighting for the rights of property owners.
Yep.
We were. I mean, we were out there saying, wait a minute, you know, there's people that need to move.
Well, we had stories where our realtors were saying they were working with doctors. You know, we had to get extra staff at our hospitals and, you know, to take care of all of these people because our hospitals were maxed out. We were kind of trying to bring in doctors from elsewhere. And they didn't have anywhere to stay. They didn't have anywhere to live.
And that was happening everywhere.
So exactly.
Happening everywhere.
So that's a scary thought.
The other thing that I actually experienced myself was I had a woman that called me. She was going through an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
She needed to get out of her apartment and she wanted to buy a house and she couldn't see houses. Yep. So it's amazing what happened then. Thank goodness we're past all that. Yeah. And now we're back, you know, to the normal real estate world. Of course, we have an inventory issue.
I wouldn't say normal, but you know,
it's back. Never normal.
We're open. So.
Yeah. So what are you seeing? I mean, I'm sure you talk to a lot of people from the state as far as other people in your position. What are they saying about inventory?
Well, that's national. I mean, inventory is a huge problem. I mean, I think the 2008, 2009 really kind of turned the builders off. And we were building spec homes and, you know, the demand wasn't quite there. Right now we have the inverse. The demand is there. Right. The inventory is not.
Well, the builders are afraid. I think they're scared. nobody wants to go out there and start developing anything. They get nervous.
It costs, right now the cost to build a home is through the roof.
Yeah,
so, that's a big part of it. And that's not really going to be solved with any sort of silver bullet. So.
No, that's so true. So that's being seen throughout the whole state.
Yep.
Any other thing that you can see that's happening in the industry, like on a state level? Because that you would say, hey, you know what, this is what's happening on a state level that we're working on that has to do with home ownership.
Well, not necessarily home ownership, but when you're talking about investment properties. So we did get 1031 like-kind exchanges passed.
Which is awesome.
Yes. So we were the only state in the country that didn't allow for 1031 like-kind exchanges.
We were the only state.
Yep.
And what that is 1031 tax exchange is a federal program that started first.
It is, yep.
And then it went to most of the states pretty much adopted that series. And what it does is allows you to buy a property.
Yep.
And you own the property for a while, like an investment property. And now all of a sudden you go to sell it and you have a bunch of capital gains. You have a lot of gain there. There's a lot of value that's in the property. You can kind of take that money in there. Instead of paying capital gains on it, you can locate another property that's like kind. Yep. And you can purchase that property and not have to pay tax on the capital gains.
Exactly. It's a tax deferment.
Exactly. Right. It's not over.
Exactly.
It's a tax deferment. That's so true. But it allows you to grow your business. Yep. Allows you to grow your investments without being penalized by the government.
Right. And you put that money back into your community with buying other properties.
Absolutely. So, it's a win-win situation.
It's great.
No, that's really a good thing. And I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot about that. So let's talk a little bit more about RPAC, which is our Realtor Political Action Committee. I guess is what that stands for. Every industry pretty much has a political action committee, almost everybody. And what that is basically our voice in government. RPAC has to do with, and now that's also, is that state and federal RPAC?
Yes, that's national, state, and local.
So we are putting funds into that so that we can help protect homeownership rights and ownership and things like that. So what I was trying to do is I want to make sure people realize that it's not for realtors as much as it is for the consumer.
Right. So the way RPAC works, and I'm just going to, it's not like me and staff that are reviewing these candidates and deciding, oh, well, this person, we really like this person. First of all, it's non or bipartisan.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we don't really have a preference there. We really care about where you stand on real estate related issues, property rights, stuff like that. So the way it works, there's a group of volunteer realtors at the local, state, and national level that actually meet with, interview candidates for office and ask them only housing related or real estate related questions.
Yeah, like eminent domain comes up a lot. Yeah, it's just property rights, period. Yeah, property rights.
So when we have a candidate that we feel very strongly about or is very good on our issues, we have a really good relationship, great rapport with them. We kind of try to help them stay in office. Or, you'll have an open seat. We'll do candidate interviews for all of the candidates in that race and kind of see where they stand on our issues. And whoever's the best,
that's who gets,
we're going to put our support behind.
Gets the funds, right? And that's where the funds come from us donating money as realtors and putting money into those places. That's amazing. So
and it's really, tax. It could be anything from taxes, land use. It could be growth related, smart growth, just really anything that affects private property rights, housing, access to housing. So it runs the gamut, but it's a lot of issues that we really care about. So
amazing. So real quick, I'm going to actually do the first time a sponsor that we have. It is going to be actually Comfort Pro Heating and Air Conditioning is actually sponsoring this show. It's a hot market out there, but it's also sometimes it's hot in your house. So if you need air conditioning, they're the people to call. It's 610-926-4200 and they can hook you up. And then the heating season is coming too. So call them for that too. So that's about it. Thanks, Comfort Pro. All right. So getting back, what I thought about actually after you had said about the community and public rights, what about the tax assessment? Is there anything going on with that? Everybody always asks me, are we going to be reassessed? I'm buying this house for $150,000 more than what I should have, and now I'm worried.
Yeah. No, reassessment is not something that we're pushing for, a countywide reassessment. One, it's very, very expensive.
I'd heard that.
So it is not something that counties...
Somebody said it's like 10 or 15 million to reassess.
there's not a lot of consultants. One, a county could do that internally,
Gotcha.
but still it's pretty expensive.
Right.
Or most counties hire a consultant or a firm to do it. I think there's only like 3 or 4 firms in all of Pennsylvania that are able to do that.
Well, that's just what jacks the price up.
Yeah, so it's very expensive. But no, we aren't pushing for a countywide reassessment or anything like that.
Good.
We've proposed maybe some policy changes to new construction, the way assessment is working for new construction here in Berks.
Right, because they used to get penalized.
Yes, comparatively speaking, the way other counties do it. So we've been talking with the county, here and there, and other, builders, for example, just to kind of check their temperature on what's maybe holding builders back from building quite as much as they are in other counties here in Berks. So.
It's interesting you say, because the Chamber of Commerce, we had the representative here from the Chamber, and I think it was Erin.
I love her.
Yeah, she's great. We called her AA Ron, of course, because and she thought that was funny. But yeah, so Erin was in here, and we were talking about that, about the issues that we have right now with not having any building going on. And even our neighbors to the south, Lancaster County, they're doing really well with that. They're definitely building more than we are. So we got to figure out how we can get this engine running again.
Yep.
It's been stalled for a while, and it's really hurting. It's hurting businesses, is what we talked about with her.
Yep.
Because if you can't live here, it's hard to work here. So let's go on to you had said that there's a lot of community events and community things that are going on that we do as a association. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, I would say, I've been with the Realtors organization now in some form or fashion for a total of about 7 years.
Wow.
I was with the state association for 5 in government affairs. Prior to that, I was with the governor's office. Really had no background in real estate, but I knew advocacy and things like that were very important to me.
It's a good background for you, for the association, for you to have all that.
Yeah,
it really is.
It really comes in handy.
Yep.
So one of the best things that I love about the Realtors organization is we stand behind our realtors, and realtors are uniquely situated to know their communities best.
Absolutely.
You're working with such a wide range of clients all of the time, hearing their feedback constantly.
Yep.
Well, what you don't like about this community versus what you like about this community. You're getting such a broad base of that knowledge. And I think that's where realtors are uniquely qualified to help in a lot of different cases when it comes to giving back to the community. So what the association is doing, we do a lot. We have an outreach committee, and that is just trucking along. We are planning a 5K.
I know we're involved in that.
Yes.
We had that at our meeting this week.
Yes. It's very exciting. So the 5K is going to benefit neighborhood housing services of Berks and also Habitat for Humanity of Berks.
Awesome.
This is the third year that we've done this.
I think that sounds about right.
We had a brief year where we kind of paused for COVID, but we are doing really well sponsorship wise. We want to see a lot of realtors out in attendance.
We will be there. We are hoping to get a lot of people from our office out there.
Yeah.
That's the push right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other, like I said, building the realtor brand is something that RBAR cares deeply about.
Absolutely.
We want to convey all of the great work and the services that you provide as realtors, but also how you give back to the community. So we do Thanksgiving meals.
Yes.
Meals on Wheels.
Did that for many years. Now that I have my own children, it's a little tougher to do.
Yeah.
But I've been doing that for years. It's one of the best things I ever did on Thanksgiving morning was do that. I probably did it for about 20 years, and it is so fun.
It is,
and it's just great to know that that you're giving back to people that don't have a Thanksgiving meal. I mean,
and giving back in terms of taking that job on so that somebody else isn't having.
Because Meals on Wheels usually does
it. They do it every day.
Yes, they do. Yeah. And then we give them that break on Thanksgiving morning. It's awesome.
Yep. And it's a good time.
It is a good time. It's a really good time.
I
get all greased up from the turkey. I'm sitting there picking meat off the things. It's wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun.
We do some other things. So we've done house cleanups now with HBA. So we've done a couple of those this year. We've done a park cleanup. We've done a lot really to give back to the communities that we work in. And I think that's super important.
And we should
be a partner. Yeah,
we should. Yeah. We absolutely should. So, I was asking you earlier, where are we at with realtors? How many realtors do we have in the county?
So primary realtors, we have 1,055 as of August 12th. collectively as an association, all of our memberships total, we are a little over 1,350.
And that means like banks, lenders can be a part,
members,
inspectors, whoever really is. You can join as an affiliate.
If you're in the housing industry or the real estate industry, you can be an affiliate.
Hugo, you can't get in it. Sorry.
He could.
He could.
He could make it work.
We could say the producer is now, he's a producer.
Yeah,
it's fine. He's producing something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So there's 1,000 agents in the county, you said, and there's about 300 then of other people that are not actually realtors, but in the industry and supporting the RBAR and all their events and things. That's amazing.
Yep. And they join because they want to get to know all of the realtors.
Absolutely.
So it helps when all of the realtors come out to our events. I know the gala was very big.
Very big.
Our 100th anniversary gala.
That was fun. That was a good time.
That was a good time.
Felino did a great job with that too. That's such a great place. If you haven't been up to the Felino Winery, I got to tell you, that place is amazing.
Definitely.
Really cool place.
Definitely.
So is there anything else you want to share with me that you thought of? Hey, I want to make sure I cover this in your notes or anything like that?
You know what? I think nationally, I just went to NAR's leadership conference.
Oh, cool.
And that was really...
Was Anywhere fun?
It was good. It was really good sessions.
Okay.
But they want to convey that realtor brand value, and the knock. If you listen to the realtor commercials,
I did not listen to that.
Yes,
I didn't. You know what? Nobody listens to commercials anymore.
Oh, I watch commercials.
I never watch commercials anymore. I try and skip them as much as I can, especially if I see anything about real estate. Oh my gosh.
Well, I pay attention, and that realtor knock is something that...
Oh, that's cool. I'll have to look at that.
We're trying to really build the brand.
Yeah.
So that's something that we're really buying into here at the local association, too.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate it. Yeah. We got Brittney Baker Shurr. She's from the Reading-Berks Association of Realtors. She's the association executive, right? Is that the right title? Yeah. There we go. But thanks so much for coming. I appreciate it. You can come back sometime again if you'd like to.
I will.
All right. Sounds good. That's a date. That's it. We got it. All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Are your kitchen and bathroom remodels a little overdue? Well, now's your chance to call First Response Contracting. John Sellers will take care of you. 484-256-7136. They do residential and commercial, and they're licensed and insured. Give them a call at 484-256-7136.